Friends, and welcome to another edition of WrestleScope Weekly. It is your boy John from WrestleScope here on YouTube and also on all of our podcast platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, again, don't forget, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time that we are live with something brand new. And don't forget to give us a follow on all of our different social media. Again, if you're watching here on YouTube, I will keep this all available at the bottom of the screen, the scroll for you to be able to follow us here on all different types of social media. Lots of things to talk about on this week's show. Obviously, we are coming back from WrestleMania. Not going to talk about WrestleMania on this show. Enough has been said by myself during the week and lots of other people. WrestleMania 37, the two-day show, was absolutely fantastic. Honestly, it was absolutely fantastic. It has been a great week plus of wrestling. Well, kind of, sort of. Okay. Kind of, sort of, maybe. All right. But what we're going to go into, I think how we're going to start things off first, and we've got some comments coming in already. Hey, yo. It's the bad guy, Brian Colon. Hey, yo. Let's go back to Crazy Uso. Yes, AEW. And you know what? I think we're going to kick it off with that right there, Crazy Uso. We're going to jump in right away. We're going to jump into that. AEW topping 1.2 million viewers for Dynamite on Wednesday night. Now, there's a couple of ways you can look at this. It was the first time that they have been unopposed since NXT moved over to Tuesday nights. And NXT did great as well, having well over 800,000 viewers on Tuesday night. So if you combine the two, you're looking at over 2 million viewers between Tuesday and Wednesday night. That is a good sign right there. That is a higher average than normal on what there was on Wednesday nights. Between the two of them, they were averaging about 1.7 million viewers. So that means more eyes watching the product. You have to wonder how much of this was played into by Chris Jericho being on the Broken Skull sessions on the Peacock Network with Stone Cold Steve Austin. How many WWE viewers tuned into AEW for the first time? So AEW could have gotten a huge benefit from something WWE did. You know, they had a good show. It was another quality, probably a 4 out of 5 show by AEW. Nothing really massive out of the park. I mean, the opening match on Dynamite, the tag team title match between the Young Bucks and Death Triangle, was absolutely fantastic. It was. I really enjoyed the main event with Darby Allin and Matt Hardy. A lot of great things on the show this week. Again, there wasn't anything, and obviously you had Chris Jericho in action against Dax Harwood with Mike Tyson as the special enforcer in a fantastic match, and you get the Inner Circle, and you got the Pinnacle all involved. So many different things. We saw all the big groups coming into play this week. But AEW, and I said it, actually, let me look at what I wrote here in YouTube. Well, actually, I did not put what my comment was going to be. I decided not to. But I'm going to put out a bold prediction right now. I think AEW is either going to maintain their number or their number is going to get bigger. And I see AEW 1 week, sometime between now and the end of the year, are going to overtake Raw in the number of overall viewers in a week. Raw has been averaging what about, actually, let me look and see. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. If I can get my mouse to work. Let's see. I feel like Steven Lookner here when I'm doing this. We're going to find out. Let's see. Okay, February 15th. Okay. On February 15th, Raw drew an average of 1.81 million. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so Raw this past week drew just a shade over 2 million viewers. They're averaging about 1.8 1.7, 1.8 million. I think AEW is actually going to end up surpassing that. And the reason I say that is twofold. And I'll get to comments here in just a second. Oh, first, hey, Hunter, how are you? Oh, Brian. Yeah, bold statement. Yes, Raw is getting unwatchable. I think the only reason WWE Raw this week drew 2 million viewers is traditionally the Raw after WrestleMania is a huge night. There's returns, there's surprises, and everything else. The only return we got was Charlotte. And it was a big return. Okay. It was a big return simply because we haven't seen her. She hasn't been around, and she came back and she immediately got involved in the women's title scene, which I think is going to be a good thing. But we had that triple threat match between Randy Orton, Braun Strowman, and Drew McIntyre to determine Bobby Lashley's next opponent. And I think having it be Drew McIntyre, that's a mistake. Do we really need to see that again? I don't think so. And a report came out, and I believe it was Fightful Select. And I want to give them the proper credit as credit is due here, because that's what I do. And they had a report. I want to quote it correctly. Let's see. Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp has been all over the place today with different things. But they had a report that Raw, they were actually down quite a bit of talent this week. They did not have everybody available that they wanted to have available for Monday Night Raw. Some of it had to do with injuries coming out of WrestleMania. A couple of them were actually due to COVID concerns, believe it or not. And yeah, again, Sean Ross Sapp has had so much stuff on his feed today. I cannot find it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Found it. Here is the quote from Fightful Select. The WWE Raw after Mania didn't go as planned for fans or for the WWE for that matter. And when asked by those in the company, they were given some reasons why. Originally, Riddle was not planned to take on Bobby Lashley, but those that they spoke with, more wrestlers were banged up or not cleared after WrestleMania. Also, a couple were precautionary due to COVID symptoms, and they were told that the brand was just short-handed in general. That coming directly from Fightful Select. So that could be why. That could be why those things ended up happening. But it just overall, it was just really a bad show in general. And like Brian said, here, Raw's just getting to be unwatchable. It has been 4 straight weeks of really bad shows. I mean, if you watch the guys over at Wrestle Talk, 2 weeks in a row, they gave it a 1 out of 5. This week, they gave it a 0 out of 5. I would have given it a 0.5 out of 5. I think the Charlotte return and the Charlotte promo may have been the one thing that saved it. What they did with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss makes absolutely no sense. And that was one of the comments I made during WrestleMania was, hey, we'll see what they end up doing. If they're going to really give an answer as to why certain things ended up happening on Sunday, and they really didn't. They really didn't. They didn't fix it. Hunter, you had to go there, didn't you? I was going to bring this out later. But yes, I am still, and let me get unfortunately, I have to get your comments out of the way. I am still the reigning, defending, could be disputed, Wrestling Daily, Good Egg prediction champion of the world. That's right. And part of SP3's ethnic YouTube faction. That's right. I am still proudly representing this. We've got King Egghead himself, Ollie Davis, on the belt. Oh! Not ready to change that yet. But yes, Hunter, I still have the good egg thing. All right. So back to what I was saying though about AEW. If WWE doesn't turn things around with Raw, people are really going to start getting ticked off. I can guarantee you they will not draw 2 million viewers this week. They will drop down to that 1.5, 1.6 million viewer area. And AEW may drop off a little bit this week. I think they are consistently going to draw over 1 million viewers. I am waiting for May 5th, though. That May 5th show, which is, if you think about it, is in 2.5 weeks, where they're going to have the blood and guts match. Their viewership is just going to skyrocket in that show. I wouldn't be surprised if they blow past 1.5 million on that show alone, because they are going to stack that card. And they're not going to need to bring in Shaquille O'Neal's. They're not going to need to bring in Mike Tyson's. They're going to do it based off of the talent they have. And who knows, depending on what ends up happening on April 25th with the Impact show Rebellion, where Kenny Omega is taking on Rich Swann for basically not the unification, but champion versus champion, winner takes all, Impact champion versus the AEW champion. If Kenny Omega walks in with 2 title belts, who knows what they're going to plan for May 5th. We'll see. I'm going to mark this. We're going to talk about it next week. We'll see where the numbers are for AEW. If it stays over that 1 million mark, again, I really don't think they're going to stick at 1.2, but who knows? Who knows at this point? If they stay over that million mark and WWE drops, I think my prediction is going to come true. I'm going to stand with it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to be thinking that, though. All right, let us talk about WWE stumbling after WrestleMania. We've already talked about Raw, and SmackDown last night as well just was not a very good show. And traditionally, this is the week that brand new feuds are started, new things are coming to happen, and we're not seeing it. We've got Lashley versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania Backlash, which again, I think is a really stupid name for a pay-per-view. So you're rehashing something from WrestleMania. They're already setting up for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn again. Nothing really new came out on SmackDown. I mean, Cesaro, yes, you've got Cesaro that is seemingly going to be the challenger for Roman Reigns. Will it be at Backlash? Will it be at Money? I can foresee it being Money in the Bank in June, that they are going to push again Rollins versus Cesaro. Roman may not have a match at Backlash. I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Reigns did not have a match at Backlash. They really didn't do anything with moving certain storylines forward and closing out other ones. We didn't see anything new, and they really haven't started too much of a build for WrestleMania Backlash. I mean, again, we already know Bobby versus Drew. That's the only thing we know right now. So again, this is going to be a very short build again by WWE for a pay-per-view, and I think that's a mistake. I think the monthly pay-per-views are hurting them. Another thing I like about what AEW is doing, they're doing quarterly. They're doing 4 per year. They're doing maybe a bigger Dynamite here and there. And looking back at WWE, what they did back in the 80s and 90s, they had their big 4. And they would throw in a Saturday night's main event every once in a while, but they built to the big 4. And WWE just has too many pay-per-views now. I think they should really knock it down to 6, maybe 7. You have the big 5 in Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, and Money in the Bank, if you could consider that, and throw in one more. You maybe really tout Raw and SmackDown as special shows every once in a while, and just have bigger builds for things. But WWE, I don't know. The other complaint I have looking at SmackDown last night, and I'm not the only one, there's been a lot of complaining about this, is the whole Cesaro UFO swing and how they overplayed that video and how they touted it as the greatest WrestleMania moment ever. Okay. Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant WrestleMania 3. Gee, that's kind of a biggie. Ultimate Warrior beating Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6. That's a biggie. HBK retiring Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. That's a biggie. Brock Lesnar ending the Undertaker streak at 21-0. That's kind of a biggie. WrestleMania 31, the heist of the century. Seth Rollins coming in, cashing in Money in the Bank, and winning the WWE Championship. That is a biggie. I'm sorry. No offense to Cesaro. That moment isn't even top 10. And they threw it down our throats. Much like when we saw the Nia Jax, my hole moment that they ran over us for weeks and weeks and weeks. Somebody within Vince's inner circle got a bug up their butt, and they thought, oh, this is a really cool moment. You know, we need to do this. We need to overshare it, which is probably Bruce Pritchard or Kevin Dunn or Vince himself, and really made what was kind of a cool moment, was kind of fun, made it irrelevant. Really did. So again, WWE stumbling right there as well as they continue to. I'm not including NXT because thankfully NXT is run by Triple H and Shawn Michaels and their team. They're not stumbling for the most part. They're not perfect. Are you talking about Bobby and Drew? I'm thinking you're talking about Bobby and Drew. They're a match at Backlash, then WrestleMania, now WrestleMania Backlash. I agree with you. It's ridiculous what they're doing right now. There is no long-term creative right now for WWE. And that leads me into the next topic here. And first of all, hold on. I have to thank Iron Jock. Proudly sporting the Iron Jock hoodie again. We are in the Iron Jock studio tonight. Please give them a follow, Iron Jock Performance Gear at IronJOC on Twitter. And you can also visit them at ironjoc.com. They have released a whole bunch of their whole new spring lineup. The golf wear is out. They've got hats. They've got long sleeve shirts. So many amazing things that they have put out. Absolutely comfortable. The sweat killing and odor killing technology in these fantastic hoodies. They're super comfortable. I absolutely love them. Haven't had a chance to wear my hat out yet because I haven't gone golfing. Maybe next weekend. We'll see what ends up happening. But definitely check out Iron Jock at ironjoc.com and give them a follow, please, on Twitter at IronJOC. And let's see, we got more comments coming in here. Yes, they showed it 1 million. Actually, it ended up being, I think, 5 times they ended up showing it on SmackDown. But in a 2-hour show, that's like once every 24 minutes, which basically is every other coming out of every other commercial break, if you break it down. And that's just ridiculous. That's just way too much. All right, let us now talk about the WWE releases. I think that was the big story out of anything this week. Thursday afternoon. All right, who in the world? Who's calling me during the show? Really? 9:30 on a Saturday night, and somebody's calling me during the show. Really? I'm not going to show the number because it's probably a spam number. Or they're going to leave me a voicemail. Anyways, maybe it's somebody for an interview finally on my show. I don't know. So Thursday afternoon, things just went absolutely nuts in the world of wrestling as Fightful Select started reporting a litany of different WWE releases exactly 1 year to the day of Black Wednesday last year, when we saw multiple releases last year. And the list was very surprising. A couple names that maybe weren't so shocking: Mojo Rawley, Wesley Blake, Kalisto, Bo Dallas was kind of a shock to me. Tucker, but then get into Chelsea Green, Mickie James, the Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe, who up until a week ago Friday was on SmackDown commentary. Actually, he was on commentary at WrestleMania. He was standing out there at a poncho in a thunderstorm, and they release him. Billy Kay was on night one of WrestleMania. Peyton Royce had that incredible promo on Raw Talk a few weeks ago. All released. There was 9, and then Mojo Rawley was added in later in the day. There was speculation from Wrestling Observer Online that the Wrestling Observer newsletter that NXT releases were going to be coming on Friday, and none of that ended up happening. I mean, I spent more time with my head buried in my phone, watching Twitter, waiting to see if anybody announced any releases on Friday, and there was nothing else, which tells me that Monday is going to possibly be the day, that there could be some more releases coming on Monday. But I think that the 3 biggest surprises were the Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, and then Samoa Joe. There was a lot of speculation that Samoa Joe was going to be the guy that interrupted Roman Reigns on Friday night and was going to come back, and he was going to challenge for the Universal Championship. That's not going to happen. Why did you break up the Iconics and then you throw Peyton Royce into a Franken tag team with Lacey Evans, and then give her a really good showing against Asuka at the beginning of March for nothing else? And then Billy Kay, you have her teaming with Carmella at WrestleMania, and now she's gone, and it's very disappointing. And we got a lot of comments here on this. Let's go to Brian first. It was Bruce. Bruce Pritchard isn't happy. If Bruce Pritchard has my phone number, all right, that'd be kind of funny. Yes, Samoa Joe was a huge shocker. And yeah, Brian, I'm going to get to your comment in a second here. I've seen people on Twitter, well, Samoa Joe's going to show up on AEW this coming week, and he's going to challenge Kenny Omega. Well, guess what? July 14th, they all, according to Dave Meltzer, they all have 90-day non-competes, and that puts them at July 14th, which ironically is a Wednesday night. And it's 6 weeks, 5 weeks or 6 weeks ahead of what is probably going to be the big show of the year for AEW, their all-out show in Chicago, if they're able to do it in Chicago. And Brian, did you know AEW is coming to Milwaukee in August? Yes, they are. At the at what used to be the Cell, which is now the UWM Panther Arena, if they're actually allowing events in there. They were supposed to come in June, I think it was, and it got pushed back to August. So that's happening. But yes, July 14th is going to be the big day. And much like Alex McCarthy, here we go again. He knows we're live, and he's got to step in. Jonas, say hello to everybody. Who's your favorite wrestler? Who's your favorite professional wrestler? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Who do you have a figure of and a belt of? What's his name? John Cena. Okay. Yes, he's a John Cena fan. He doesn't watch enough right now. All right. Good night. Go to bed. We got an early morning tomorrow. All right. Yes, Brian, August, your birthday month, it's going to be after your birthday, but yes, AEW is coming to Milwaukee, or they're scheduled to come to Milwaukee. But yes, July 14th is going to be the big day. I'm speculating that out of everybody that got released, Samoa Joe will be the only one that shows up in AEW. He could go to Ring of Honor. He's got obviously ties there. Impact Wrestling, there's a history there, but I don't see Joe going back to Impact. Peyton Royce, Billy Kay, maybe Impact, because they've got a strong women's division there, but I can see them going to AEW as well. Bo Dallas, I see him going to NWA. I would love to see Bo Dallas team with Aaron Stevens, the former Damien Mizdow. He is one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions right now, but him and his tag team partner are having some problems right now. So maybe a Bo Dallas ends up there. Chelsea Green will most likely end up in Impact Wrestling. She could go there with her fiance, Matt Cardona, and she's got a long history there. Mojo Rawley, Kalisto is the wild card. He could end up anywhere. Honestly, he could end up anywhere. Mickie James, I see her going to NWA and being with her husband, Nick Aldis, and really helping that women's division there, which would be a great get for them. I would love to see Mickie James versus Serena Deeb, Mickie James versus Thunder Rosa versus Allison Kay, versus Camille. Oh my goodness, Camille and Mickie James would be a phenomenal. Yeah, Hunter, I see your comment here. Hang on a second. Yeah. Bo, if people said Bo was the Fiend, he's gone. Bo was never the Fiend. Okay, that ends that right there. Bo Dallas was never the Fiend. Tucker, I don't know. He's one of those guys too that I could see him going to Impact. I could see him actually doing well in AEW. Maybe they bring him in and he's a guy that works his way through Elevation and Dark, and then comes up to their main roster, on Dynamite. It's tough to say at this point in time. Will there be any more main roster releases? I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't be. It's going to put some of those people in a tough situation because obviously 90 days is going to put them further out. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction here, and I need to go back and check something real quick. Let's see. 90. I have to actually see something here real quick. Does anybody know the date that All Out is scheduled this year? I'm kind of curious about that. Because I've got a thought here. Okay. Here we go. Here's AEW's pay-per-view calendar for 2021. Revolution already happened. Double or Nothing, May 30th. All Out. Oh, now see, they've changed it to September 5th, but I don't know if this is accurate. I really don't think that's accurate. Best thing to do would be go directly to All Elite Wrestling's website. Okay. Events. Okay, Brian, the AEW Dynamite scheduled for August 25th. And they took it out. No way. I believe All Out is scheduled for that following Saturday. So you'd be looking at 27, 28, 29th. No, 26, 27, 28th. Usually Fridays. So if they stick with the Saturdays, you're looking at August 28th. It could be September 5th, but I think it's going to be August 28th. So that goes back to my other question. Okay. 90 days before August 28th ends up being Sunday, May 30th. So I'm going to put a bold prediction out, and I don't want this to happen to anybody because this would really stink. But I think if there is going to be a next round of major WWE releases, I'm not talking NXT, it will happen June 1st, May 31st or June 1st, because that takes people out of being able to be at AEW All Out. I think WWE would be tactical in that manner and do that. Money in the Bank is happening in June. WrestleMania Backlash is scheduled for May. So Money in the Bank, I believe, is scheduled for June. But let's see, because there have been some changes. Let's see officially what we have. Okay, according to CBSSports.com, if we can get the website to load here. And I'm going to see, let me share the screen. I'm not sure how well this is going to turn out for you folks, how well you're going to be able to see it as I'm playing around with new wonderful things. I'm going to share that. There we go. As you can see, no, we don't want them to. Okay, so Backlash is scheduled for May 16th. Money in the Bank tentatively for June 20th, along with NXT TakeOver Dublin. Extreme Rules in July. SummerSlam in August. Payback most likely in... Oh, interesting. If you look down here, if you look... let me get in... I can't really see it. In this section over here, Payback and SummerSlam. So SummerSlam, Payback, and Clash of Champions all tentatively scheduled between August and September. Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, TLC. Nothing else as far as NXT takeovers, but you'd have to think that there will be a takeover probably leading into Money in the Bank. They probably won't have one leading into Backlash. Okay. And let's see. Oh, hold on. We got comments coming in again. Yep, good thing. Oh, Mizzy20, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you in here. So, yeah, again, I am going to speculate that if there are any other major releases, bigger name releases coming up, that WWE is going to hold off until the beginning of June, because that would, again, eliminate anybody from appearing at AEW All Out. Will they be tactical in that manner? I don't know. Thank you very much for tuning in to WrestleScope Weekly. I am John, having a great time here. Again, please get your comments in. Thank you very much for everybody that is tuning in and commenting. If you're watching this on replay, go ahead and leave your comments. I will be responding to everything. And do have another piece of news here I want to talk about. This one, again, coming from Fightful Select. They have released information on a female group that was planned for WWE. And this directly, again, coming from Fightful Select. And, I lost the story. Where did it go? Darn it. Where did it go? Here we go. Now I got it. Creative Plans had called for Chelsea Green, Vanessa Bourne, and Santana Garrett to portray a Pussycat Dolls meets the Charlie Angels kind of group. Yeah, that's a Vince and Bruce thing right there. Bourne had been called up to the WWE main roster in early 2020, and actually, she still hasn't been used yet. Have you forgotten about? I forgot about Vanessa Bourne. Where is she? She probably was sitting in catering with Bo Dallas. Garrett was called up in September of 2020 and only has appeared in the WWE Royal Rumble. They met with writers about the idea, but it didn't end up happening. Obviously, Chelsea Green is gone now. She went into details, and Fightful Select, Sean Ross Sapp, does have a full interview up with Chelsea Green. I'm actually going to listen to that and try to be able to bring you a little bit of information coming out of that interview. But that was a planned group right there between those three. How do you feel about that one? I mean, again, you've got a group of two women that really, I think WWE fans would have forgotten about, in Vanessa Bourne and Santana Garrett. I forgot they were still there. And then Chelsea Green, who she did great things in Impact, but she has literally been snake bitten since coming to WWE. She was part of the Robert Stone brand, got called up, had one appearance on SmackDown and got injured. She dealt with injuries in NXT, and it just has not been was not a good run for her. in WWE, which really kind of took away from what she was able to do. And it really is disappointing about that. I don't, a Pussycat Dolls meets Charlie's Angels group, that would not have been taken very seriously. Quite honestly, they would have come out in absolutely ridiculous outfits. It would have been, and quite honestly, I can't even remember what Vanessa Bourne and Santana Garrett look like. It's sad that I'm drawing an absolute blank here on both of them. Here we go. Yeah, here is a picture of, give me a second here, as it takes too many doggone clicks. Here's a picture of Vanessa Bourne. Can't really remember her. Kind of forgettable. And let's do Santana Garrett. And again, here is, after I click about 16 buttons, here is Santana Garrett. Again, kind of forgetful. I mean, no, that sounds really bad. I'm sorry. I don't mean it that way to those women, but I don't recall either of them. I know the names, I don't recall them, which is kind of a shame. But I think that group would have been absolutely horrific. I think it would have been and it's not because of the women, it's because of the stupid storyline that they would have been given. It would have been absolutely terrible. Tegan Knox, she is still out injured from what I understand, O'Mizzy. I don't know how long she is going to be out for, but let's see if we can find out any information really quick. I want to see Tegan Knox come back because I really like her. I want to see her rebuild her feud again. Let us see if we can find anything on Tegan Knox. Well, here we go. I'm going to go to her Instagram, and I'm not following her, which is a shame. I really should be. Tegan Knox does have a WWE action figure out now, which is awesome. I am not seeing any updates from her on her. Oh, let's go to her Twitter and see what she has to say. No real updates here on her. I'm trying to remember exactly when it was that she got injured. I don't remember when it was. I want to say it was last fall. And it was a knee injury again. So it could be a couple of months. I'm not seeing any updates at all on her. If any of you end up seeing anything anywhere, I don't. Yeah, O'Mizzy, I don't have an update on Tegan. I don't. Hunter, I got to jump in here real quick. I know you, first of all, he's jumping ahead of me here. Congrats on 100. And he's got to take off. Thank you very much, Hunter, for being a great supporter. That's actually going to take me into the next thing, and it's probably going to end up showing up, closing out the show. I mean, we're already at 40 minutes. So, yes, I want to thank each and every one of you. We finally hit 100 subscribers. We're actually at, I believe we are sitting at 101 right now, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for getting me to the first of a number of different goals for this channel. And you'll notice too that I did update my profile picture on YouTube. Had to change it. So thank you very much for that. Wait a second. Hold on. On the bump. Hunter, you're on the bump? You were on the bump? I would love to be on the bump. I'm not quite at the level where Izzy is at quite yet to be on the bump. I'm still working on becoming a co-host for Wrestling Daily. Hopefully it got it one now that we're out of WrestleMania week. Still working on the deal to bring me in as a special correspondent or whatever. But now that we have the belt, the championship, and my microphone's in the way, so we're gonna. Oh dear. No, we didn't want to do that. Hold on. Oh, no. I want to go that way. I go here. There we go. Now that we have, good grief, I'm terrible. The championship. That's right. The champ is here. The Wrestling Daily. I'm a Good Egg Championship belt. That's right. I am, again, the reigning, defending, could be disputed Wrestling Daily. I'm a Good Egg prediction champion. Oh, there was an update on the bump about her. Okay. I don't end up watching the bump. I probably should. Yeah, I probably should. Omizzy, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate that. I may have to go back to the old belt because I think having Ollie Davis's bald, ugly head on this is kind of taking away. And you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. I'm actually going to put this up here. I got to see if it'll actually hang up here or not. I haven't tried it yet. I have to put, let's see, will it stay? How low can you see? That's not too bad. You can't see it extremely well, but we'll leave it there for now. It's there. It's hanging in the studio now. So all good. But again, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I've forgotten how long have I actually been doing this channel. Let's see. It has now been, it looks like it's been 6 months. Let me just double check one other thing here real quick. Yep, I first started this channel. My first video was September 26th of last year. So it's been, we just celebrated 6 months. And I got to say, actually I'm feeling really good about how things have been going. I have not quite reached the level that I've wanted to be at. I set a very lofty goal about 6 weeks ago. And actually, you know what I want to see? Let's go to lifetime here. 2,500 views, which I will take that. That's good. I like that. What I love is my December 10th video, will Roman Reigns versus Goldberg headline WrestleMania 37? 1,100 views on that one, which is pretty good. I mean, everything else has been doing well. I did post a video last night if you guys ended up seeing it. And I'm serious about what I put out there. I want to know what you guys want on this channel. I want to know what you want to see on this channel. I'm going to continue to do WrestleScope Weekly. Going to do that on a regular basis every week. And this month, obviously, I've been doing my 30-day challenge, the 30 days of WrestleScope. And I actually didn't put that banner up. Hang on a second. There we go. 30 days of WrestleScope. Got to put that up. I'm going to see how it goes through the rest of this month. We are just past the halfway point. We've got 13 days left in the month. And we're going into a little bit of a slower time of wrestling now. So we shall see. But going into May, I may continue to do daily YouTube videos. We'll see. As I've said before, this is not my full-time gig. This is just a passion thing on my part that I love to do. As Brian can attest to, he's known me for longer than I think he wants to admit. But I've been a wrestling fan since the age of 5. And that's going back 40 plus years. And this is something I've wanted to do for years. And the fact that it took me until September of 2020 to actually do it is kind of disappointing on my part. I should have been doing this a long time ago, but it wasn't until the pandemic era. It wasn't until I started watching in more detail the guys over at Wrestle Talk. And it really wasn't until Wrestling Daily started that it really kind of gave me the kick in the pants to do this and to do what I enjoy doing. Again, I would love to turn this into a full-time thing for myself eventually, down the road. Who knows? And oh, hold on a second, Brian. I am not losing subscribe. I lost one subscriber 2 weeks ago. And that was it. When I was at 96, I dropped to 95. I don't think I'm losing any. I'm up 15 subscribers in the last 28 days. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, Mizzy, hey, all right, man. You were in the same boat as me, brother. Let me ask you, what did you first start watching? What was your first wrestling? Because 45 years ago, that's putting us into the mid 1970s. Not to make you feel old, man, but I was an AWA guy. Being in the Midwest, being in Wisconsin, AWA was the thing because that was our territory. Okay. Down south, out east, it was Georgia Championship Wrestling. If you go down to the Texas and Oklahoma area, it was world class. You had WWWF in the Northwest. You had stuff in Memphis and, so many things out west too. But I was an AWA guy. That's what my first experience with wrestling was AWA. I didn't realize until 1981, 82 that there was other wrestling out there. When cable TV started coming into play. Because keep in mind, in the 70s, we had local television. This is pre-cable times. We had, 3 major networks, a couple of independents. You had the rabbit ears on your television. It wasn't digital, so you didn't have a lot of options. Here in Milwaukee, we had the 3 major networks. We had public television, and we had 2 public television stations and 1 independent. Brian, if you're still in here, do you remember when it was just Channel 18? It was 4, 6, 12, 10 and 36, and Channel 18. That's what we had in Milwaukee. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, the wrestling magazines. That too, when I first saw my first wrestling magazine, which I think was 1981, is when I realized there was more than just WWF. There was so much other stuff. That's when I first got introduced to Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA and guys like that, because they never came to AWA. I knew of other guys that, that would come into the Road Warriors would come in. Other guys would come in from other territories that we hadn't heard about. Oh, yeah, Brian, it didn't quite I don't quite understand. Oh, you're talking about the YouTube algorithms. Okay. Yeah. It hasn't affected me at all. Has not affected me at all. As of yet, because I'm not a big content creator quite yet. I know for the guys over at Wrestling Daily, I don't think it's affected them at all. They just surpassed 10,000, which was exciting. And that's why we were able to finally get our t-shirt, I say our t-shirts, but the t-shirts out, which is really cool. I can't wait. I found out if any of the Wrestling Daily viewers are in here right now, I found out that my the Good Egg t-shirts have finally started shipping. If you were on the beginning, in the first day or two, the Good Egg t-shirts have started shipping. So Yes, they had all the rankings of the wrestling companies. Kerry Von Erich, yeah. It was in 1983 that I was able to start watching some other stuff when we got cable at home, and was able to, I found Saturday Night Wrestling on TBS, and that really opened my eyes. And then in the middle to late 80s, when ESPN started showing, they showed old AWA, and then they switched over, to WCW. And that's when my eyes really opened up to things. It was a great time back then, starting to learn about all these new people and everything else. It was a lot of fun. But so yeah, back to what I was saying though. This is a passion project of mine, and I know I humbly admit I know there's a lot of great wrestling content creators out there. There are a ton of them. I follow quite a few. There's only so much time of the day to be able to watch wrestling YouTube videos, but I greatly appreciate anybody that has been following me, especially people that have come over from Wrestling Daily. I know I've gotten a number of people that have come over here, and I greatly appreciate that. That is such an amazing family over there at Wrestling Daily. The support that I've gotten from people in the chats and on Twitter and here as well. I'm so thankful for everybody over there. If you don't follow them, please do. It is such a fun time we have over there. And even if you can watch the daily shows on replay, such great content in there. Alex McCarthy does a phenomenal job. Louis Dangor from Wrestle Talk, SP3 from True Heel Heat, and the queen of AEW, Miss Dynamite herself, Stephanie Chase, do just a phenomenal job. And, while I'm talking about them, doggone it, I got to put it up there. Yeah, please give my friends over there a follow. They are absolutely fantastic. Love everything they do. Excited for Steph Chase because she just surpassed 1,000 viewers, or 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome. I'm so excited for her. True Heel Heat, we need to get those guys up there as well. But it's such, they just celebrated their 100th episode this past week as a daily show, Tuesday through Friday, with the occasional Mondays after pay-per-views. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I remember watching the scramble pay-per-views just to get audio of the match. Yes, I used to do that too. What was the biggest rivalry in the AWA? It was, for a while, it was Nick Bockwinkel and Vern Gagne. It was really anything with Nick Bockwinkel. I remember just how, he was the epitome of the late 70s, early 80s heel character. He was the Midwest version of Ric Flair. He was not as over-the-top charismatic as Ric Flair was, but boy, he played the heel well. But I'll tell you one thing. This is when I realized that wrestling wasn't real, that they were playing characters. 1986, I was a 16-year-old kid working at Denny's. It was my first real job, and I worked late second shift going into third shift as a busboy dishwasher. And I was the location. We were right across from the Milwaukee airport. So when there was shows in town, AWA, WWF, they would have to come through our area to go to the airport. And there was an AWA show at the old Milwaukee Arena, and the guys had a late night flight, and a bunch of them came into the restaurant. It was Greg Gagne, Rick Martel, Tom Zink, Nick Bockwinkel, and I forget some of the other guys that were with it. But I remember, Nick Bockwinkel was still a heel at the time. I believe he was still the champion at the time. And he comes in, and he was the nicest guy in the world. Made sure he tipped the staff really well, was just professional and cordial and very nice. I'm trying to remember, there was another heel that was the same way. I can't remember who it was at the time. But then Tom Zink, who was a big baby face at the time, was a jerk. Oh my goodness. He was just arrogant piece of trash. I remember that. But I remember I became a Nick Bockwinkel fan immediately after that night. And I loved it when he went over to WCW after he had retired, when he became the commissioner of WCW. That's someone I would have loved to have met and talked to. Just, he was the champion in the, in my formative years of watching wrestling. He was the anti Hulk Hogan. He was the, he wasn't the big bodybuilder kind of type guy. I mean, he was a well put together gentleman, for a wrestler, but he was more of the classic type wrestler at that time. So yeah, it was Nick Bockwinkel and Vern Gagne, and then Nick Bockwinkel and Greg, Nick Bockwinkel and Larry Zbyszko, Bockwinkel and Kurt Hennig. I remember when they had the feud over the title and Kurt Hennig winning the title in questionable fashion. And that was 1987, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. There was always, the Crusher and anybody, Baron von Raschke, Jerry Blackwell, the High Flyers of Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell. And yes, Brian, yes, South Milwaukee's own Reggie Lazowski, better known as the Crusher. That's right. We have that great statue in South Milwaukee. Yeah, Brian, you and I were at that unveiling event that day when they brought that out. Might have to, you know what? I might have to do a remote WrestleScope from down there. I have not been down there in about 6 months, down by where the Crusher statue is. So, all right, boy. We've kind of gone on for quite a while here, haven't we? Talking about a variety of different things and all over the place. But thank you very much for everybody for tuning in. Do we stick around and keep this at an hour? Do I go for another 3 minutes and let this go for an hour again? What do you think? I've just been trying to hit up my Twitter and see if there's any breaking. Wait a second. What just happened here? I just saw a reply to something pop up and I gotta, what was this? Oh, referring to Steph Curry. I thought maybe it was referring to Steph Chase. But anyways, going back to what I was saying before, guys, please leave your comments and let me know what you want to see on this video. If you want to know what I was asking about, go to my video from last night. You can see it. Let me see if I can actually bring it up. It's actually, it's called What Would You Like to See on My Channel? Leave your comments there. Tell me what you'd like to see on this channel. Do you want to see, I could do fantasy booking. I could do a video that's just a hot take on something and you leave your comments. Do you want to have more lives like this? More pre-recorded things where I just go in? More longer form things? I'm not going to do... And I'm probably not going to do the live reaction videos yet to pay-per-views and shows, just because those are more fun when you watch those, when it's 2 or 3 people involved in the conversations, not just one. Maybe down the road someday I will do those. We shall see. Probably not going to do. I did one on this day in history, which was kind of cool. I may do some more of those in the future. And Mizzy, yes, interviews with subscribers. We may do that. I'm toying around with StreamYard and OBS Studio to figure out what works best. I'm going to talk with the Wrestling Daily guys and get some advice from them too. I am working on wrestler interviews. I had something in the pipeline that, because of reasons I'm not going to discuss on here, it fell apart. I have another one I am working on right now. It's just a matter of getting it scheduled with this person. I'm hoping to get it scheduled in the next week because this person is going to be involved in a pretty big event here in Milwaukee coming up in a couple of weeks, and the timing on it is perfect. So hopefully I can get that taken care of here in the next couple of days. It will not be a live. It will be a recorded one, just because it's going to be easier that way and I can do editing. But as soon as I'm able to get that one put up, I will. But yes, definitely working on that, Omizzy. I definitely want to do interviews. I think that's going to be the thing that's really going to take this channel to the next level. I want to try doing some very unique ones as well. I've got another one that it may be a little bit more interesting for local people here in Wisconsin, but I think it's going to be a fun one because this is somebody that I know personally. He's a friend of mine that is a longtime wrestling fan, has been able to do some very unique things in wrestling here locally as well. And I want to talk to him about that, talk about his experiences. And there's just some more things I'm working on, and this is going to open the door. I will share with you guys, I have worked on reaching out to the PR departments at AEW, at WWE, at NWA, Ring of Honor, Zello Pro, which is coming to Milwaukee in May, and a few others about getting on their media lists and working on things. I've heard back from one so far. One that, thank you very much. It was actually an organization that was mentioned in this show already. So hopefully that will open the door for a few things. There's a couple of other guys with Milwaukee ties and Wisconsin ties that I would love to get some interviews with, but I'm not going to mention names yet. But hopefully within the week, I will be able to announce the very first interview and have that up within the next week or so. But we shall see. All right. We finally hit the hour mark. We hit the hour mark. So I think I'm gonna bail out of here. But Omizzy, that is definitely going to happen. I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being viewers. Again, please follow all of my social media. And even more importantly, I think I lost it. Where in the world is it? Why can't I find it? There we go. Please like this video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. You will be notified every time that something brand new comes up. And please share this too. Share it as well. Get this out to as many eyeballs as possible. The next goal, and I'm setting what seems to be a lofty goal right now. I want to get to 200 subscribers by the end of the month. May not seem like a lot. I'm at 101. That means we need 99 more in the next 13 days. I think we can do it. That's an average of what? 7.5 per day. So I think we can do it. I think we can do it because oh yeah, the belt's up there. I am the good egg champion. We're going to make it happen. I am John. This has been WrestleScope. This has been another 30 days of WrestleScope, day number 17. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, if you're listening to this on the podcast, please go over and check out the YouTube channel as well. You can click on the on my bio and see the link tree, and you can hit that. And don't forget to, oh, wait a second. I have to add one more banner. This one, I shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't do this, but I'm going to. And I feel guilty I really feel guilty for doing this, but I have to because we're having fun. We're going to have some fun with this. My Amazon wish list is in my link tree. My birthday is coming up in 8 days. I'm going to put some fun little things in there. If you want to show support, if you like what I'm doing, I'd love some birthday. I'm sorry. The belt was actually a gift to myself. Yeah, and I'll show you. I'm going to show you something else here maybe next week. But yeah, the belt was a gift to myself, and you don't have to. But I have to put it out there. The Amazon wish list is in my link tree. I'm going to put some goofy little wrestling things. I don't know if you can. I owe you guys a video, and I think day 18 is going to be me showing off part of the new office setup here. You can see some of the things I have back here. You know, I've got my $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase figure over there. I actually picked up a a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase Funko Pop. I'm working on, I didn't realize that the toy belt is retired and you can't get it anywhere now. I wanted the toy $1 Million Man belt, but it's a retired one now, which kind of sucks. I think I own every Alexa Bliss figure now. I think, including the minifigure and her Funko Pop. I still have my Mick Foley's and a couple of other things. You can see I've got my Alexa Bliss t-shirt over here. I don't have every Alexa Bliss t-shirt, but I don't want all of them. But I think for day 18, if I can, I'm still in the midst of getting things taken care of here in the office studio, but I could show off a little bit of what we've done in here. And I have to give my son Noah credit. He helped with a lot of the design in here and gave me some ideas. And I think it looks really, really cool. So I think maybe for day 18, I'll show that off. But if you really want to be nice to me, my birthday is coming up in 8 days. I'm going to throw in some more stuff in the next day here in the Amazon wish list. And it'll be just some fun little small kitschy stuff that you want to, if you want to get. I mean, there are some bigger things and I expect nothing out of anybody. Oh, the other thing too, in my link tree, I have a link to my Patreon page. I'm in the process of working on creating a free Patreon level. I have different levels. I think it's $3, $5, and $10 a month. Haven't really populated anything in those areas yet, but I want to get more followers on Patreon, and I'm trying to get a free one where you'll get notified every time I put a blog post up or something else. All you have to do is sign up for Patreon. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you become a free Patreon, you can, you'll be able to see some of the new stuff that I put up as far as posts there too. And if you want to support there as well, you can. I was in the process of starting it and I ran out of time. So I'm actually going to work on that probably tomorrow. Won't be able to do it now. I'll work on it tomorrow. But again, check all that stuff out. Again, thank you very much. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. Have a great night, everybody. Day 18 will be tomorrow. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great night. Hopefully any wrestling news we get is going to be good news in the next 24 hours. We shall see. I'm John from WrestleScope. Again, thank you again for tuning in. Have a great night. The champ has spoken.